Hi, everybody. My name is Ayo. I'm your host for today. This is the Funding All Ends May retrospective edition. And I have the honor of having very, very many people in the room with me. It promises to be an amazing all-end session. It's our May edition where coordinators get to share what the outgoing month has been like for the circle, and then everyone gets to share, be informed. We get to ask questions. We get to get insight into several things. We get to also find opportunities for collaborations, opportunities to do some wonderful things together. So um, now we have about 9 circles and one work group. So we can expect about 10 presentations today. So we better get right into it. But before we go right into it, Jan has some interesting updates for us. And yes, so Jan, please.
Well, only one interesting update. As you all have seen, there were some interesting things going on with Lumio and decision making over the past weeks, and we all, or most of us, have engaged in that in some way, and thank you for that. But we also see that it's not that easy. Despite all the good efforts of IO here, it's still hard to figure out what are the right questions to ask and what are the right options to give and what is the best wording and how do we make sure that every decision doesn't take 3 months before we get to a final stage. And there are so many questions to answer. So based on this learning of this first important decision, we figured that we could use some support there. And somebody who would be dedicated to this topic of decision making. And in my mind, the ideal person for this would be somebody who had previous expertise and experience in this, who has done some research for that. Ideally, maybe also somebody who was not too tied up already in our program, not part maybe of a circle. On the other hand, we would need somebody who knows about us, who knows about our culture, who knows what we want to achieve, who knows the way we work. So I thought, where do you find such a person? They don't exist. And then I thought, well, maybe there is one person that I can think of that would be a perfect fit, and that would be Esther. I think many of you know Esther, and she fits all these boxes, plus a few other ones that will also make her a great fit. So I reached out to her and I asked if she would have time to help with support of IO and drive this initiative of decision making. And not only work on this particular decision, not only work on this decision and the next ones, but also create a kind of framework and process around it and make sure that we will be able and investigate and explore how, as a program and as a community, we will be able to make effective and supported decisions going forward. And to my great joy, and of course you understand I wouldn't be saying all this to you if she hadn't said yes. So Esther is in. I'm very happy with that. She's not here right now. She will arrive in this call in half an hour or something. If there is time, she may want to present some of her ideas, approach, and maybe do a little call out, but I'll leave that to her and the time. But I wanted to make this announcement because she may be reaching out to you, and with, as I said, with the continued support of IO. IO has been great in working with Lumio, in pushing things outward, in connecting with all of you, and the good news is that he will continue to do so. But now, together with Esther, and I'm looking very forward what will come out of it. It's an open-ended thing, but I hope we'll get some policy or some framework that will help us in different scenarios to figure out what is the best way to come to a good solution and a good decision. On the same topic, a little bit related, the way, so I interpreted the outcome of the surprising outcome of this Lumio event that, yeah, for an intermediate decision, it's up to me and Rafael to make a decision on this crisp for now until we reach the final thing. We have been a bit tight in our schedule, but just before this meeting, we brainstormed a little bit on it. I think we already have some interesting things to share from that brainstorm, but I will save that for another time when we have a better, when we can better present our thoughts on this. So stay tuned for that one. We'll inform you pretty soon about that. And yeah, then we'll continue this decision process for this topic and other topics. So I hope you're all just as excited as I am about this next step in the decentralization and democratization of our program.
All right, thank you so much. That was more than one update. I was right to say updates. That was 1.5.
1.5, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Ian. Before we go into the retrospective report presentation, does anybody have any question concerning what Ian just said? If not, we'll go right into it. And I like the way I see everybody. So I'm thinking, based on the suggestion of Ian, I think 2 Hollands ago or thereabout, that we may not necessarily share screen for the report. We've put the report on the website. We tried to get it there before this call. It's also in the chat right now, and then we also shared in people's DMs. So ordinarily speaking, everybody should have access to it. If you didn't, you have it now, it's in the chat. But if you want to present, that's also fine. Yeah, I mean, we can always make you co-host or give you access and then you present, but maybe not to have to read through the same thing that we are seeing on the screen and things like that. Maybe that might be, let's just try that approach and see how it goes. So we have, usually we'll let the focus group go first. So focus group, do you want to go first? IT circle, who wants to go first? I can call the names, but it's just nice to just see who has more courage in the circles. So who wants to go first? Okay, Abdul laughed, so that's marketing. So who is presenting for marketing circle? Abdul, you should not have laughed because you laughed, and then I'm calling marketing circle. And then, yeah, good work with the stuff that you've been doing, Abdul. I mean, I see you all around, so thank you. So who is presenting for marketing circle? I do not see Andrea.
I'm here.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Sorry to put you on the spot, but we're all on the spot already, right?
Could you share your screen because I can't do it here?
Okay, all right. I thought we were not going to share screen, so we are sharing screen.
Thank you.
Okay, if you can see my screen, please let me know. And marketing circle?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Well, in the marketing circle for this month, as usual, we do regular posts, in this case about the new RFPs from the OpenCode Hyperon. The extension of the deadlines, and as well we made some promotion for the AI for Peace ideation challenge that is over, and we just announced the winners. Also some promotion for the RFP ideation and some information or educational information for everybody here. We recently welcomed Beatrice, who's going to be in charge of educational content. And we are happy to announce that because now we have this other area, right? And we will be able to announce internal information such as the open project system, the emails for every circle, the shared drives, and more information that's coming up. We also welcomed Gael. And Gael has a strong marketing background. So he will be helping with reviewing tasks just as Beatrice. And Abdul was assigned to help with administrative tasks as Ines, who was the coordinator, stepped down from the coordination. And we had a training on the open project system. Everyone is now involved and they know how to use the system, and they have been paid already with the new process. And yeah, that's all from the marketing circle.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrea. So are there any questions or any comment for Marketing Circle? And if not, we will just go right. Oh, okay. Ubio, please go for it.
Yeah, I think my question is still in line with what I've been asking since last to this thing, and it's okay if Andre does not have the response right now because she's just stepped up immediately. But I think by continuously asking the question, it will probably make it clear that it's something we're expecting. I wanted to know what was the reach of the posts that were made in the past 1 month. How many people read it? How many people, what's the impression like on across all social medias and all of that? I'm just interested.
You mean for the AI for Peace especially?
Oh, I'm talking about all generally. If we have a breakdown for individual posts, that could be that could have been best, but at least generally.
Yeah, we are just gathering all the information. We already have that information for the YouTube channel, for the Twitter channel, and recently Priscilla just worked on the LinkedIn channel. So we will gather that information and we will present it on the probably next town hall or open all hands.
Okay, amazing. Abdul, I thought I saw your hands. Please go for it.
It has been answered, actually.
Oh, okay. And then I wanted to say that you have
contribution to the effort that has been made through all our posts and stuff like that. I want to make reference to the submission in the AI for Peace and the number of submission. Then the RFP for open call as well. We are looking into requesting for particular numbers. So we don't have that yet as of now because it has not yet been public. So we can get those numbers or figures through the figures. But however, I think the overall overview of impression or reach has been answered. So we are working on it to get all those insights. Thank you.
all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are free to laugh now. I mean, I can't call Marketing Circle twice, so laugh all you want now. Okay. So Ubio, because you asked a question, I think then it's just nice to just continue the momentum and allow Dev Outreach to present now. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I'm presenting for focus group. I thought
okay, that's fine.
I thought you wanted to call the focus group, so I already opened that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Hi everyone. So this is the report for the focus group. So yeah, the first thing that I would say where we spend bulk of our time this particular month has been on quality improvement in deep funding. We've been trying to answer the critical question of how can circles improve the quality of output in their individual circles. And we feel that answering this question is extremely important for the future of what deep funding will become. And we think that giving it this much attention is actually relevant, right? So yeah, one thing I would say is that the seriousness of this topic as well is also reflected in the quality of the debates and the quality of the discussions that we've actually given to this particular topic, and how difficult it has been for us to come to a consensus on what we should do to improve the quality of circles. However, I would like to highlight two opinions that are currently at the top of our list, right? One is actually members of each circle engaging in a self-reflective process that examines what they are not doing well and suggests areas for improvement. This retrospection and solution should come from within, right? So it's like empowering the circles to be the one to think about how to be the one looking at themselves, and then being the one to suggest this is where we are not doing well and this is how to improve. Another idea that is actually at the top of our list is actually what we call a best practice approach. This looks at what went right and how we can actually consolidate on what is moving right? So this full approach focuses on how good can become better and even best. So, however, we've not been able to come to one particular idea that we think is the best in order to come up with a framework on how to advise. So, however, it has not been all difficult or all not rosy, right? It has, at least we've been able to come to some points of agreement, right, in the course of the conversation. One is that decentralization, it is not a decentralization if we bring external auditors to audit Circle as a means of improving quality. Another thing we've agreed on is that quality of persons in Circles is what determines the quality of output. Also, we also agree that decentralized approach to quality improvements are slow, but always yield the best outcomes in the long run. The focus group will continue to have this conversation, and hopefully we'll come to a consensus, and the outcome of such consensus will be communicated in our future report whenever we do. Point two, AI for Peace Town Hall. So the Deaf Outreach Circle, and in extension, the 3 circles brought the challenge they had with the AI for Peace Town Hall to the focus group to discuss and get insights on how this can be handled without it spiraling downward. The potential issues that were identified and discussed included the possible language barriers, the possibility of being polarized and even politicized, and the whole facilitation process. So we can say the outcome of the town hall being a success is a testament of the wisdom and insight of the focus group. And we would like to implore other circles to think of utilizing the focus group when and where they have a blocker or a potential one. The focus group is here for every other circle. Circle communication. Rafael has been leading the initiative for the circle communication framework. This framework will allow the communication between circles and the deep funding staff and between other circles as well. This initiative is discussed as well with the focus group, and it is being born from the dilemma of the need to advance circle decentralization while at the same time ensuring that the staff are consciously aware of all moving parts in the ecosystem. In all, it still ties to the question that we had at the first point, which is quality improvement, right? And the overall goal. We have been actively doing our role as sparring board in this initiative, ensuring that all areas are covered and the initiative that will come out of it from Rafael is actually worth it. The last point, which has already been mentioned by Jan, is a whole discussion around decentralized decision-making. Unlike most other topics we had this month, bulk of this discussion on decision-making was had asynchronously in our channel. All through the course of the month, we identified the need for someone with an expertise and interest on the topic of decentralized decision-making who would champion this in our ecosystem. it was a unanimous decision that Esther Galvavie was the ideal person to champion this initiative. However, since this topic overlaps with some responsibilities of the focus group, we will be actively involved in it. Looking forward to how it turns out. All right, so this is just the update. I would just want to reiterate this point that I stated here when I said that the focus group is actually here for every other circle. And just like we were able to give the insight to deaf outreach and the 3 circles when and where they had a possible barrier that could have probably hindered some stuff that they needed some wisdom and insight. This approach is still one of the things, is still one of our functions. And where circles think they need someone to talk to, someone that they can actually spar or get insight into whatever initiatives and ideas that they're actually working on, please look at getting in touch with the focus group.
Okay, thank you so much. Very, very wonderful presentation. Do we have anyone with questions for the focus group? And yeah, Paulo, Paulo, please go for it.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions about the quality improvement on Deepfunding you show us. The best practice, you showed 2 points for me. It's not very logical, but we can discuss this after if you want. It's not decentralization to bring external auditor to Circle as means to improve the quality. This is complicated because the way I read this, I understand you say, okay, this is better, this is the best way to work than you are doing today. But maybe the approach is what are you needing so I can help you to reach the quality. Understand the way I read this phrase, I understand it's like someone external it's like an intervention, you know? You come here and you say, oh, this external user, we know what's better than you are today here to direct your work. And when you say quality of person in Circle, it's what I'm doing. And it is hard to judge. So this can create space to some kind of overpowering, let's say. I don't know. Maybe this way to work, if you are here to listen and say, okay, Paulo, in the radio circle, for example, what can we do for you? We had this tool, we are here to improve. Or for example, if you come to us and say, maybe we are not in the direction that Deepfunding would like to be in the future, in the quality and ethical and all procedure. This I think is good intervention because there are books, it's called the African Aid. It's a guy who wants to plant tomatoes in Africa. And for him, it's a good thing to plant tomato in Africa. And the guy don't have any tomato there. And they say, why you don't put tomato here? And when they plant tomato, this guy from America, all the hippopotamus come and eat everything. The guy said, this is why we don't plant tomato here. And the lesson is maybe if you change this expression, this part, to say we can bring external auditors to help you to arrive where you want. So we can work on the quality KPIs. For me, it's okay. We can work this together. But when you put this way, I feel like, maybe I can see what you are doing. I can change things, and you go out and you go away, and we keep you with all these things to keep. You understand? It's like government. They say you should work this way, and they go away, and now you have the circle to deal with this. So this is my point. Sorry if I'm a little bit long.
All right, Paulo, thank you. Ubio, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, we want to hear what
Tommy.
Yeah, we want to hear what other people have to say to that.
Okay. So does anybody have anything they would like to add to what Paulo has said? I was thinking that is it not possible that over time, a circle will not be able to effectively audit themselves, right? I mean, isn't there just how far self-reflection can go, right? I think maybe there is a limit to self-reflection. Maybe at the beginning, you know, I've as the focus group considered that as maybe a possibility. And would it be totally, you know, bad if we have external auditors? Or maybe the word auditing is the one that is like sacred and very big and very scary. You know, maybe you can use a different word and not auditing. But, you know, sometimes new pair of eyes always see better, right? That's how you don't even see if something isn't going as well as it should after a while, right? So I think that is that's my view about the whole thing. Is it possible to have an hybrid? Have we really tried it? I mean, how are we really sure that it's less decentralization if an external auditing person or people audits something? Yeah, Vanya, I see your hands. Please go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted and I wasn't. Yeah, on that, Io, I mean, we have talked around it and we might talk about it more. I think our general feeling at the moment is that bringing in external auditors could be difficult just because, you know, it's hard to find somebody who really gets what we're about necessarily. And external auditors or people who are professionals in quality assurance don't tend to have a decentralized outlook, so that's difficult. We have mentioned in passing, and we haven't really discussed it, the idea of what would happen if one circle kind of audited each other, another circle, or kind of supported each other, that kind of cross collaboration type thing. Just a thought as a possibility. But I just want to come back to Paolo's question because, to be honest, I didn't hear properly what you were saying, Paolo. I wonder, could you just remind us which line of the report were you actually asking about? Because you kind of broke up for me a little bit and it sounded like an important point.
It's not decentralization to bring, external auditor to audit circles,
right.
criminal quality.
Okay, so it was about that one then. All right, cheers. Thank you.
I'm saying this, I think it's good if to be more clear, I'm not saying the interview on task, I think every circle has its autonomy. To be clear, I think the focus group can be very useful when they are provoked, you know, so they can come and can give their expertise and quality, and not something like, okay, we just want to do this way. So more like a partnership than something like, I think everyone can work together, you know, but we have each one his own space. So we don't change the decentralization if you can decide yourself. And if someone come external, you will be a welcome. But I think they can listen us what you are needing, you know. I think for me, it's logical.
All right.
It's not a prohibition for externals to come to change the decentralization, but I think it's good to have this. Okay, thank you. Sorry if I extended.
All right. Abdul, just before you spoke, so I had this inkling from Paulo saying maybe, and I remember that when we wanted expert reviewers, or when we wanted, you know, independent reviewers, it became some type of circle, or it became merged into the existing review circle, right? So maybe you want to have an audit circle. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, Abdul, please go forward. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Ayo, and thank you, Paulo, for raising that concern. And thanks to the focus group for considering that very particular discussion. One thing I want to say is that what I've seen to be the most effective auditing when it comes to decentralization is self-reflection, in the sense that if we, the circles, we can be very much open in the sense that we can talk about our achievement, and at the same time, we can be very, very bold enough to say this is our flaws. It will be very much important than bringing in any external auditor that does not even understand the, or perhaps it might take a lot of times for them as well to look into exactly what we need or what we might need. But I want to say that from my own point of view, or let me say from the angle that Paulo is coming from, if I can understand him very clearly, that okay, when an external auditor comes up, our focus group suggested some kind of way by which this circle can do things, and at the end of the day, when that is implemented, perhaps there is still kind of some imbalances, probably among the members or in the circle, so within the circle. So it will still fall back to circle responsibility. So one thing I want to be sure is the most effective way of auditing is self-reflection, and be very, very ready to be bold enough to be open that, oh, this is my achievement and this is my failure. If you can be very bold enough to do that, so that should be sufficient for us. So thank you.
Okay, so courage is very important. Yeah, so we can move on now. Who is presenting for Operation Circle? So I'm choosing based on who is laughing and who is talking and also who is silent. I've not had anybody from Event Circle say anything. So yeah, so who's presenting for Event Circle? Please let me know.
I'm presenting.
Good. You want to share screen, right? Or you want to just talk?
Yeah, but you can share it so that I do the talking.
Okay. So it looks like to not share does not work. 1 second while I zoom out and then find Event Circle. Yeah, and here we have. Yes.
Okay. So for the Event Circle, we have successfully onboarded 2 community hubs. We have African Women in AI and On-Chain Hub. And for our 3rd hub, we are still undergoing some few formalities in order to onboard them. And one of our hubs, we had to let them go. Astrat AI Hub, they no longer become a community hub because they have a lot of issues which doesn't really align with Deepfunding's vision and processes. And we have also reached out to the LATAM Town Hall team. We are discussing with them if we could also turn them into a community hub. They have also submitted proposals just as all the hubs that we have now. But we noticed that they also have some issues when it comes to their agreements. We noticed that they want different things and they're actually asking for a lot. So we are still looking into it. We are waiting for what they will say. Actually, we've had a counter proposal to what they initially asked. So we are waiting for their response. Then if it's possible, we can make them a community hub. If not, we will let them go like how we did for Astrat AI. And we have some exciting news. So we are about to start an X Space event, which will be led by Mariam. She's in our team. So we would have to have this event on Twitter, that is X. And we've presented this idea to the Deepfunding team. They've given us the go-ahead, and we will start soon. So watch out for us. We'll be giving you guys updates on the date that we are starting and other information, so you could also pass by and see the things we'll be discussing on that hub. And as usual, we already have our town hall and our open hours, as we're having now, going perfectly well. As time goes on, we'll be making some few changes, which will be for the better good of this meeting. So we are looking for ways to make it more interactive, ways to make it more educational and informative. Yeah. And this month, we were able to have the AI for Peace Challenge, leveraging that for the town hall, which we noticed also brought more light to what is happening out of our decentralized community. So yeah, that is all we have for today. Thank you, Ayo.
All right, that was a good one. Thank you. Short, precise, succinct presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was just tempted to call you the name I call you inside the event circle just now. But don't worry, I won't. So does anybody have any questions for the event circle? Any comments? Anything? Yes, Rubio, thank you. I might just call you for dev outreach after this question. Just be ready. I'm just kidding. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So it's actually a beautiful thing and not so beautiful thing to see that community hubs can actually be dismissed. This is something we thought we were going to be seeing after 1 year, and it's already happening in less than a month. So I really want to know, maybe throw a little light into that process, and maybe thinking as a focus group person now. So I'm trying to wear that hat to speak. What is the process that we can draw out of this event or whatever happened in a way that we can actually make it into a framework or into a process guide for future onboarding of hubs, or it could even be projects or anything? Like, what are the lessons in this episode?
All right, thank you, Rubio. Priscilla, do you want me to take that?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, you could do that.
All right, thank you. So the community hub, obviously the RFP has a framework, right? And the goal of the framework was just to guide people into what we expect in deep funding. And that was going on well, because I mean, people applied, and then there was a whole selection process. That hub that, you know, that went south at the point of contract. And we were not even trying to have a contract in the word contract. We just wanted terms, some conditions, you know, as to how we will work together. And one of the critical parts of that is that this is a community hub, but what you do there should align with deep funding, goals, perspective, mission, vision, you know, the general idea. But also we wanted to make sure that there was sustainability, right? To make sure that if someone who was coordinator of a community hub had to leave or do something, that the hub, you know, what's the word now, goes on, right? And that definitely comes in where you now have to have somebody from event circle or people from event circle who are also admin to the hub. Not because they want to change anything, but because it's just good to be able to, you know, have some type of partnership or oversight, right? And I think this was the place that the hub had issues with. I mean, and when I say issues, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just, so they thought if deep funding wanted to have admin rights, you know, that then maybe deep funding should just create the hub in the Discord channel. And so if we say, okay, now we have EU community hub and you have a Discord channel to it, automatically deep funding is the admin rights, and then it can now be outsourced to the coordinator as maybe a contract. So we had the owners of the hub come and build this community. And then we said, you know, that that wasn't going to be decentralized enough for us. That's not what we have in mind. We want you to be able to do this. We just want you to also be able to make sure that it sustains and that it does not just die if you lose interest. You might just lose interest 1 year or 6 months down the line, and then what happens? You know, and then that was the beginning of the end. And so it did not fly, but yeah. Jan, please go ahead.
Yeah, allow me to summarize, Ayo. I think the helicopter view that I have here is there was an RFP. There were a lot of conditions into the RFP. The team submitted a proposal saying that they apply to those conditions. But when they were awarded, they started to challenge the same conditions. So nothing changed in the conditions. But when they were awarded, they're saying, well, this one doesn't apply to us and this one doesn't apply to us. Yeah, and that's not how it works. So they're good people. I suggested that maybe we can continue in another kind of partnership, do an RFP together or something like that. But they just don't comply to the conditions that were put forward from the very beginning. And I don't know what a good way would be to avoid that in the future.
Thank you, Jan. Ubio, does that answer your question? Yeah, thumbs up.
Okay. Vani was asking a question on this thing.
Okay, one thing, okay, Vani says one thing we have been thinking is that the best app.
No, that's not the question. What was this hub about?
Oh, okay,
I just missed it when you said it. Sorry, Ayo. I just
no problem. EU, European community, supposed to be the European community. So it's a geographical thing. Okay, so Ubio, I see you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, this is for the Deaf Outreach Circle. So yeah, what has been going on in the Deaf Outreach Circle? Okay, so let's start by announcing that we just announced or selected the winners for the AI for Peace Ideation Challenge. We had more than 110 plus submissions. We narrowed it down to the top. We first removed the fluff, then screwed down till we had about top 18 ideas. And from the top 18, we selected 8 ideas that are, is it 18 or 17 ideas? And then we selected 8 ideas that we are going to use for the hackathon. We've been able to mesh most of these ideas into thematic hackathon ideas that participants will build on. The themes are peace with oneself, war of misinformation, tools for diplomacy, and refugee lives matter. The blog will be out and you will probably see more details on what these ideas are and what we're expecting to see built out of it. We'll also be releasing a list of ideas that were not winning ideas, but were good to be mentioned. This is to encourage them and to reduce the noise with the CRIFS team when they want to look into the submissions that we've got already, right? So this will help narrow the whole process for the CRIFS team, and they can just look at the top 18 instead of going through all the solutions that we actually had, because these are qualities. And again, just to mention that some of these ideas that were not chosen were actually good ideas, but were not just ideal for a hackathon. So event, up to today, we have about 73 participant teams from about 17 countries confirmed so far for the hackathon. An orientation call is scheduled for Thursday, May 22, to provide participants with an overview of the process and answer any questions that they may have. Additionally, the hackathon dates have been updated and will now run from 23rd to June 1st. And we may still extend the dates if we think participants will need more time to hack. The current challenge we are having now is getting a suitable time for the orientation calls due to the diversity of the time zones. 17 countries, different time zones. It's tough for us to get one specific time for orientation. We are currently, I think yesterday when we had a call, we're thinking maybe we should do 2 orientation calls, right? But that would also affect the timing for the hackathon. But yeah, these are all on the table. Currently, the Dev Outreach is hiring new members. We've decided that we need to expand our team by hiring 2 new members. One role will focus on providing technical support, particularly for reviews and tech-related tasks. The other will have an outreach and marketing focus, helping to strengthen our communication and community engagement effort. We're currently looking for candidates to fill these roles, and we'll share the update as the process moves forward. So in case you do have anyone that you think would actually fit into any of these roles, right, that we're actually hiring for, please inform such a person to apply. I think the application has been put out on our social media, on Deepfunding social media as well. So yeah, these are the updates. I would like to respond to any questions we may have.
Thank you so much. Abdul, please go for it. You're using your license because I cannot call Marketing Circle again.
Thank you, Ayo. I just want to ask for more clarity on the mention of the AI for Peace 8 winners, because I add that this there are top 18 and 17, and the first 8 are made for hackathon. I also listened to the point that CRIPS selection also. Does it mean these first 8 are not the final CRIPS selection? So I want that clarity to be known. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So the hackathon was actually for 2 purposes. We did the ideation challenge because we want ideas that we can actually mesh into creating hackathon themes and hackathon challenge, right? Problem statements. That was our own focus. So Dev Outreach has its own focus. However, Chris is actually looking for ideas. The same idea is looked at from 2 different perspectives. When Chris look at an idea, they're actually looking at is this idea good enough for an RFP? That's a total different question from is this idea good enough for a hackathon? So because we are all looking for 2 different things, it means that our results will actually come out differently. So what we did is obviously Chris is not mandated to utilize what we've come out with, but we just felt that with this hours we've burned and the time we've been able to put into this, it would save them enough a lot of time to go in and review all the 100 and something proposals again. So we did come up with the top for the hackathon and also other good proposals that we would just mention. The idea is that this could probably, quote and unquote, serve the CRIPS team whatever they want to look into proposals.
Sony, please.
Yeah. Whose name? This one. I just want to asking. We have the 73, right? The participant, right? Obio?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then we select, I think, 8, right? The winner.
Yeah. No. So you're not getting the this thing. This has been a continuous process. So we called it a dualathon, right? It had the composition of the ideation challenge and it has the hackathon. So first what we just finished is the ideation challenge, right? And then that is where we chose the 8 ideas, which we are now putting into problem statements for the hackathon. The hackathon is where we have the 73 participants. The ideation had more than 117 or so submissions. So those are 2 different things.
Okay. So now the next question is related whether we have the baseline to evaluate for all the participants, or especially for all the selected team.
Yeah, we do have a baseline that we're going to be using to judge whatever they build. But again, the core baseline is actually how it will be able to answer the problem statements that have been written out.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Obio. Vani, please go for it.
Yeah, I could probably find this out myself by having a more full look at the links, but just wondered if you, off the top of your head, are all the winners in the ideation challenge new to Deepfunding, or like what's the kind of ratio there?
Yeah. So I think that's a very good question, Vani. So I need to look into the winners right now, but I can give you the data for the general participation, right? For the ideation, we had about 60 to 70% of the people that were 72. I'll be precise, or thereabout, that were new to the deep funding ecosystem generally. But for the winners, I've not checked that to give that result, but I can tell you generally what it was.
Amazing.
Fantastic. Really good job bringing people in. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rafael, Presa.
Yay. Yeah, Rubio, very nice work on that, you and the dev outreach. Nice to see. From what I saw, a lot of good ideas that were selected. I have an aside question though. How's that onboarding team for the marketplace going? Are they operational already? And also, are they attending to your expectation when you guys created that? I ask because I'm receiving some requests for people to be onboarded, and I'm willing to know if it should be directed to the team or not.
Yeah. So please, if we have those requests, for now, I think we've created. If you just so we have deep funding, we have dev outreach deep funding. I'll put the email. Please, anybody should just send an email to us that you need an onboarding team. We would get back to you immediately, or you can reach out to me and I will do that as well. But I think the email is actually more ideal. So I think the team capacity has actually over improved, right, compared to January and February. As at now, they've actually we just finished a project with the 02 AI. The reason why we did not mention it, so because you said it, is because we want all of them to submit their assignments before we can conclude on that. So they are currently doing the assignments on that. But I think generally their capacity has improved. And just to add this, this hackathon is going to be a test of their capacity as well, because after we get the ideas, we are now going to let them to onboard. They're going to be working with the teams to onboard. So this is going to be the first test of their capacity to onboard. And by then we should be able to know who are the best teams, the people that have much experience and all of those. Yeah.
Nice. Great to know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
So
you
I'm going to
so
put the
much.
email. I'm going to put our email here so anyone can always reach out to it. All right. Yeah, it's already done.
If possible, even Ubio, would be nice to have the process as well, the step by step for reaching this, and then we can share with our other teams as well for them to know, right, in a regular place, probably the deep funding manual and so on. Would be nice as well if we can have this.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So if there are no other questions for the dev outreach, then we can simply move to the next presentation. I think operations stack we should go next because I've been calling other people, so it might just be, oh, Melvin, I see your hand, so please go ahead. Melvin? Okay. All right. I'm not sure. Maybe you're not saying anything. Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So we have 3 things to report. The first one is the Lumio Mattermost integration. Incidentally, Jan mentioned about it briefly when he was talking about the announcement, Esther coming on board, and then being the point person for the decision-making process and discussion of the community. So, but this was one of the things that we did in this past month, and it was very good learning point for us, because usually solutions will create other problems. So when you solve a problem, the experience is that then you create another problem, and then you go solve, and then you are alive, right? So we wanted to have more people engaged with the discussions, and then we thought to have Lumio conversations report directly to the all circles. And it worked because they engaged people, right? But then it became an issue because then the messages became so much, and then it looked like the only thing we were doing on the all circles was that we were trying to make decisions. And that was a good thing, also not a good thing, because then becomes overwhelming, and then there's a lot of messages. And then sometimes people respond directly to all circles instead of, say, go back to Lumio to document the discussion. So that led us eventually to create a Lumio, DF Lumio channel, right? If you are not yet on the channel, it had to be that you are new to the circle. And please let us know if you're not on the DF Lumio channel, and then we'll have you. And then that brings me to the next point, right? Like that. So if you are new to the all circles, it would be nice if you didn't have to reach out to anybody before you are added to everywhere that you should be added to. And so we started to ideate, and we started to work on improving the onboarding operations process. If somebody gets into all circles today, what and where, and what are the tools, what access, what should they have, what update should happen, what database. And we feel that if this was automated, it would be quite good. I mean, there are several things to consider: updates on the community website, updates in the channels, updates in Lumio, access to open projects, access to the operation, the Deepfunding portal, and host of other access and tools that should happen. So we think that we should automate this process, and then we have begun with that. And we are not stopping at onboarding process. We would also include the offboarding process, but to start with, we'll focus on the onboarding, and then eventually, Rafael and I suggested that this looked more like a work group, and then we have a work group created to the effect. And yay! So we welcome 2 new members to Operation Circle. Operation Circle is no longer 2 people circle, right? Now we've joined the ranks of circles who have 4 people. It was a very tall dream. We are very happy to announce that we have achieved that dream. So we have Godfrey, and then we have JP. What you see on the screen is their Mattermost handle. So you may be hearing from them for different things at different points in time. And maybe at some point they will introduce themselves in this call, but I mean, no problem at all if they don't want to, but it's good to know that they are there. We have other things that we could have reported, but we thought better let it get ripen enough, and then we get to share more excitedly. So thank you. So any questions for the operations circle? May you have anything you want to add? Okay, thank you. Oh, Paulo.
Yeah,
Paulo,
I'd like to thank Edwin for the patience with all the questions. we had made this week for him in the IT channel. So thank you to support our team.
Oh no, thank you. Yeah, one thing that I mentioned there that I did not speak out was the collaboration. We've had a lot of collaboration in the past month, and then there's also more coming, and that's really exciting for us to do things with other circles and get amazing results out, right? Yeah, thank you. Rafael, Presa, please. Rafael.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ayo, you forgot about the meetings calendar as well. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
are you going to present by the end? You can present perhaps by the end some idea.
Yeah, I wanted to
everyone.
present by the end as a general thing. Yes.
Okay. Amazing, amazing.
You see, I still have other announcements. All right. Thank you so much. Can we go to the review circle now? Paul, I've come for you.
Yeah, thank you. Could you share the screen, please?
Okay.
I will be not spend a lot of time. I'm waiting. Yes. We have 4 points this way. We use a new tag. It's called the process standardized optimization. It's called to talk about the process we are changing. Yeah, it's a new initiative, but it's for the process. We have a team working on this onboarding guide. So we created the team. We have some group of reviewers working on this. How to receive better the new reviewers, the new members. So if you can scroll down, please, you see, this is our panel. No, the image to show. Yes, and we have all this point. So the team we're working to have this clickable. So if you are in the review circle, we have all the information. We have this today in the old version. We are updating this. Decided to make this first version, and this is to review know where you can find things. So we have some issues with the payments to people understand. We have some things we had so stressed. We learned with this, and we are trying to put all this in the same document. So it's good because one of our friends in this mission, he has this struggles, his issue in the past. So he's improving the document based on this. So, okay, and then this is for example, a structure on the document. So the workflow to show the people, we're trying to put things more visual to all this information. So this for the guys that work on the mission. You have this help building a review search. So the questionnaire to people can put a question, we can improve this document. And it's a good initiative from the guys on this mission. Okay. So if the team are working on onboarding, after we can share this, so we can inspire, because of the base, I think the same, the sense of the document, the payment, the wallet configuration, all this stuff. So if you have something that people can work for their own, I think it's good. Nice. So we had to work on this. The next, please. Yeah. We are working on the glossary. It's a task was made for us to try to first of all, we have these benefits. Would like to share someone that I put these 8 points. It's qualification, faster onboarding, consistency, cross-function. All this one is to best improve our communication. This is I think the main point. When I arrive here, I have problem to understand what the RFP is. So at the time, if you have some place where we can find this, and if a new one or older one will have some questions. And then for me, it's important is the constant of language. So we are trying to standardize all these terms. And the last one, the point 8, for me, for the future, is we're trying to create this glossary to improve in our system of review support of AI. So we are creating these words with definition. So we have a team for people working, have all process. If you can scroll down, please, you can see the process down. And this page is the document. You can click and see, and all these terms, how this works. We take the words. You have people to review. You have people to see if the terms match. We have an example application case. So we're trying to make this dictionary more complete possible for us and for other circles too. So no problem to share. And we are working now in this document standardization template document. We perceive that some milestones are sent to us a little bit. They are not standard. I can say this way. So we would like to have a document where the reviewer he has the same base of the document to work. So, explain you the details. We had a milestone delivery with 28 pages and have one with 2 paragraphs. the milestone. They are milestone, you know. So how can we judge the same way this milestone is to deliver or not? So we are trying to standardize all this since the input data, the milestone, when the reviewer put this data on the first forms, and after we are improve all these things. Okay. We are working on this bonus system payment too. The templates documents, it's a new task, so we start 2 weeks ago. We were using the strategy where how we are in a process. We finished the last round, so we have some reviewers floating, I can say this way. So we try to put them in specific works in the this works fit with this feature. The bonus payment, we are working on the weight system. So we choose four criteria in this beginning, and then now we are working with the operation circle to try to match this with open project. And the idea is to have a way to give this bonus on presence on review circle meetings and deliver on time and participation on this mission, the initiative, and something like it. So I think next month we have this more. It's a challenge because say how much everyone has. We have this discussion here, so this is a good point to discuss. And I think we have next to one here. No, I think we have last to one. No, I think this one. This month we had 15 reviewers made, 50 reviews made, and we have more 7 ongoing. So we are trying to work on these numbers now with the new system, and it's all. Okay, and they'll have a lot of different initiatives with IO, with Rafael Presa, and the other Rafael Cardoso too, and the other circles, and we are happy to contribute. You can count on us.
All right, thank you so much, Paulo. Yeah, so any question for review circle? There has to be, because Paulo was asking everybody questions. We have to contribute questions to. Yeah, Vani, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Please,
just a little one. The glossary is a really nice idea, but have you seen it as something that is separate from the existing glossary?
Yeah, the people on our team, they are instructed to use this glossary base that we had today on Deepfunding. So we're not inventing anything for nothing. We are using the base. In fact, this is what task someone sent to me. I don't remember.
Sorry, I couldn't quite understand what I'm asking
Okay.
is, are you going to integrate your glossary into the kind of overall one? Right.
Yes, we want to integrate all the glossary. The mission here for us was to take the words we are using more frequently on review circle, and the main objective is integrated to.
That's the
end.
original idea. I mean, I don't know I'm still not sure if we're talking about the same thing. I mean, that one, which has a tab for you already.
Yes, we would like to integrate to the Deepfunding glossary. This is the main objective. I think the other question now. All right.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Vani. So Vani dropped the link into the glossary document, and I think Marketing Circle have been pushing that. I mean, all circles contribute their glossary into that, and I think it fits right into everything: the AI, the tooling, the conversations, and then to just make sure that there are no difference in context to the same word, right? You know, so I think it's totally important to integrate. Yeah, Ubio, please go ahead.
Yeah, Paulo, I want to know what has been in the past month or maybe months, what has been the success rate or the pass rate and the accepted rate and the rejection rate so far for proposals?
For the reviewers, this I noted this in the point 5. We had 15 reports, so we had this reports was rejected in the set. You put all on milestone. This is not something. I don't have the numbers for you now. Maybe Assad had the specific numbers for the how many was rejected directly or not. That when I have this, I know 2 we reject because they pass on my hand, but I can bring all this data more consolidated if you in the well, I can consolidate this data send to you or send it I'm sending this meeting. I don't have the number, this 15. Maybe Assad, could you pass me these numbers? If you have this
Yeah, so in the report, it's like a consolidated data for both accepted and rejected. Because sometimes we have reports coming from the previous month as well in this month, so we don't count them in a single month. But if we just talk about May, then it's 4 rejected and 11 accepted.
And usually the guy he is rejected, he cannot reapply, so we don't count this at twice, you know. Maybe you can put this and sometimes something is to correct and something we had to the guy has to redone the word or done the word.
Yeah. So thank you, Paulo, and there are thumbs up from Ubio, and I think that Ubio has been asking plenty metrics question, and then I think that maybe it may be a good idea to incorporate some type of metrics into our report system. I know that we don't want to be metric based. I mean, we don't want people to be pressured with metrics, but it's numbers also tell stories, and then it gives insights. Yeah. So I thank you, Ubio. Okay. Paulo, you are proof that karma does not exist. You got only one or so question. So you've disproved karma. I'm so disappointed right now. All right. IT circle. I suspect Edwin is eating, and I do not like that. I didn't get to eat, so I'm calling him because Anthony, Edwin saved by Anthony. So Edwin, 1 second. Anthony, please go ahead with your question. Edwin, I'm coming back to you.
No, it was not a question. I thought you was we're looking for a volunteer to present. I was ready.
Oh, look at that.
The documentation slot.
So yeah, so I have a vendetta with Edwin. So let me go deal with Edwin. I'll come right to you. Edwin, please, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ayo. Is my screen visible? I dropped my screen up.
Yes, it is.
Hold on. Okay, so let's jump to IT circle, right?
Yes.
What happened? Okay, I'm right here. So we have different things to report, and we've been very busy over the past month. It's a new circle, by the way, and there are various things that we have done. So first off, we brought the open project in play, and we've been able to deploy it, and as well as onboard people. The main highlights were we've been able to create each Kanban board and each project for each circle. We've been able to configure different roles for the circle, and we have a Kanban board to visualize all the tasks as well. We've been able to integrate it with Mattermost for real time update, as in once you create your task, you get notification. If you assign a task, you get notification. If you move your task to Dan, the coordinator gets a notification to come audit your task. All these things have been implemented in Open Project. Well, as any launching goes, we did have some few challenges with this deployment, and these are some of the challenges we got. Transition from people were used to, different ways of tracking their tasks, and it's quite tricky bringing them on board an open project. With time, I think change management will pick pace, and we'll be able to get everyone flowing the way we want to. And some circles were hesitant on the our new workflow. So I think more engagement and support would ease the adoption rate. And yeah, every circle, look at all the different circle, everyone is peculiar. Some have their own way of doing things. So sort of accommodating everyone with what do you call it, a common thing is sort of the challenge now, and we have to work with every circle to align with that particular circle. So yeah, that's on open project. And we have also, we deployed Mautic. So we moved away from MailChimp, and we are making Mautic our sole tool for communication outside and internally, more geared towards email campaigns, and it's being used by a lot of time by the marketing outreach. Although any circle can, be there to, if your circle does communicate via emails to other people, you can make use of the Mautic, and we want to get all notification, all communications through that tool. So these are the main highlights. We've imported all our contacts from MailChimp to Mautic. And as well, we are looking at different integrations over there. For challenges, I've not really encountered some on Mautic yet, though it's new. We are looking forward to solving all those challenges. Thirdly, we've been able to deploy team drives across board, and we've placed those circles in groups. So I'm sure if you look on your Google Drive, you should see a shared drive with your circle in there. So the challenge right now is most of Deepfunding members, once they create documents and files, it's in their personal drives, and we should look at a way of migrating all Deepfunding's content into the shared drives for every circle, so that every member, I mean, if you look at the assets, once it's in your drive, all your members get the relevant assets, and it's very easy as to people requesting for access and all those kind of stuff. It mitigates all those permission requests and everything. And lastly, we've been, since we've deployed a lot of tools, we have had training sessions all over, and people are picking up and people are learning from these training sessions. The challenge in there is, well, I think sometimes different time zones, sometimes you don't get what do you call it, all the members on board, and these are challenges, scheduling training times and all those kind of stuff. And we need more ongoing support, more training sessions for people to grasp the use of the tool very quickly. So we thought of it was actually Rafael's initiative to create an IT support channel, which has been used by many. Surprisingly, people keep reaching out, people keep logging tags for support and everything. So the IT channel is there, IT support channel is there for any type of questions, IT deployment, anything, bugs, anything, you can send it over there. The only challenge I have there is, well, users are not quite clear when to use the channel and when to DM me directly. So balancing those two is quite a challenge. But the IT challenge, some support what do you call it? Some challenges that people bring to DM, why it's people, a lot of people bring them to DM. So I feel those ones should go to the IT support channel. So once I answer it, once everyone can, I mean, have an idea of how to solve that challenge. So those were the things. Yeah, so the IT support is there. We are here to help everyone and to make everyone's life easier. So that's it for me. I don't know if anyone has any question.
Thank you, Edwin. Amazing work there. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've forgiven you for looking like you are eating. Sonny, please go ahead.
Okay, so now for IT. I just want to ask whether there is any initiative later on from IT circle regarding to enhance or to make some look like some initiative for the communities to make the some look like, the API to interconnect the Hyper and Encode to make it, the community more easily to adopt the technology of the Hyperon? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Sonny, we are now drawing a roadmap of what to implement, what to make things easier. So I'm sure it will come along the way, but we have a lot of things to do in the circle, and we are prioritizing as of now.
Okay, so it means still in this one, right? There's no initiative for it for the later on in the
Maybe
future.
I can jump in here as well, if you don't mind.
Okay, so Jan, please.
There is a scope to IT. And IT doesn't mean everything we do in our whole ecosystem. OpenCog Hyperon is our ASI framework. The best people and like 50 people are working on that. I would say this is not Edwin's main responsibility to make ASI OpenCog Hyperon work properly. We have whole different teams and departments for that. What IT is for the all circles in the first place. So making our program work seamlessly and smoothly. And by the way, Edwin is doing a great job there. I'm very proud of all the things that are working on. And then connect it also with our portals and so on. Actually, we do have one Deepfunding contracted Deepfunding person who is wrapping his head around OpenCog Hyperon and who might be better positioned to answer these questions. And that is Roho. Roho isn't here today because he's actually right now in Dubai on an OpenCog Hyperon meeting with like 50 other top scientists from SingularityNet. So that is our way of bringing OpenCog Hyperon developer and our Deepfunding community closer together. Rama is also there with him, helping to be the connecting pin between our OpenCog Hyperon development team with our, even more with our AI platform development team, also all the new stuff that is being built there, and our Deepfunding community. So very interesting question, but I'm afraid you asked it to the wrong person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Vani, please.
Yeah, really nice report, Edwin. Cheers. I was just interested when you pointed out that some circles were hesitant to adopt new workflows. I've kind of got my focus group head on here, and I'm just wondering, in terms of change management, which is something that the focus group is quite interested in, I don't suppose you kept any notes, or they did, about what their reservations were, because it would be really good to revisit that in a little while and find out if, how whether they still have reservations, whether the reservations disappeared when they started using it, that kind of stuff in terms of how people, how we manage change and how people respond to change.
Yeah, thank you, Vani. Absolutely, change management was the main reason after all the training session, we launched the survey. I launched the survey in all the circles, and I was expecting response. Surprisingly, I have only 15 people responding to the survey. So I'll launch it again and have more responses in there. Then I can use data to speak to it if people have really understood. Yeah.
That's cool. I'd completely forgotten about that survey, so it's good that we kind of went to that about it. But I was kind of thinking people can't really complete the survey until they've used it, until they've got used to using it. So I'm wondering it'd be great actually if we had some data about what people thought at first before they started using it. And I think we might have to go to the circles concerned and ask them because, yeah, it's just good to track how people's attitudes change and what causes it to change.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Vani. We will look at that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Edwin, I wanted to say that I understand that it's possible that the survey is supposed to be an ongoing thing because you want to continually get feedback, right? But humans also respond better to deadlines because, I mean, urgency drives reason sometimes, right? Or even most times, right? So that's just to say, because you have no particular closing date for your survey, maybe people just, okay, I can do this tomorrow. I will do this tomorrow. Interestingly, there's unlimited supply of tomorrows, so yeah, so I guess, but very nice presentation, and thank you for your help. It's been very wonderful working with iCircle as operations circle. Okay, Anthony, thank you, my knight in shiny armor.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I made you co-host in case you want to share screen. So Anthony is presenting for the documentation work group.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, let me just.
Is it your microphone, or I think you sound a little bit low?
No, I want to. I'm trying to share.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Not that. Okay, let me just proceed.
All right, I could share for you. I'll just continue if that would be easier.
Yeah, I can continue. Yeah, so the documentation circle is actively collaborating with other community members regarding the QA avatar collaboration. That's the question and answer chatbot, basically. So some weeks ago, I had a meeting, an impromptu meeting with Rama regarding the ingestion of circle documentation into the chatbot, and we concluded that to improve content relevance and retrieval accuracy of the bot, we are now working to include metadata tags, front matter in the documentation files. Yeah, so these tags will help the QA avatar chatbot better identify and surface relevant information regarding the user's queries. Yeah, so that's our first update. That's our ongoing QA avatar collaboration with Rama and other community members. Yeah, then our second update, that's the most important, is concerning mapping data to the documentation resource. That's to the MKDocs powered website resource, proofreading it, like basically a system for circle members and resource managers to easily update their documentation. That's bringing down the process, making it so simple that updating documentation will be so easy that it will be natural. So here's how we came about it. So in the process of refining how data collected from circles should be transferred to their respective documentation websites, and also inspired by the recent increase in robotic process automation in circles, like IT circle and operations, we took a closer look at the way we currently map circle data from the individuals to the website itself. So this is where circle members directly write out the content of their documentation website in Google Doc. You probably have one person with overall administrative rights. That person can make edits, update the document. Then in that process, that's where we take over as a documentation circle. Then the documentation circle members transfer this content from the Google Docs to their websites. So we thought about automating that entire process. So it involves, and this is one of the original goals of documentation work group. That's making the documentation process easy, so easy that it's no longer an issue. It's just a matter of filling in a regular doc. So so from Google Docs, it all starts from Google Docs, like a regular Google Doc, basically. So it all starts from the Google Doc. So there will probably be a trigger on the Google Docs that will call an API probably AI-powered markdown converter to convert then it will carry out the rest of the operation. That's Git operation.
Or is it just me, or you're breaking off a little, Anthony?
Yeah, I think he's breaking out.
Okay, sorry about that. Anthony, can you hear us?
He
Okay.
got kicked out, so he has to join back.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think we can hold that thought and consider having the onboarding circle present. Who is present for the onboarding circle? And by the way, shout out to the onboarding circle. Their report came in first. I did not have to do any follow-up on onboarding circle. So thank you for making my work easy. Thank you to the onboarding circle team. So who is present for onboarding circle, just to make sure that we don't lose time? This has been very interesting. Vani, are you present? I don't see Tobias in the call.
I'm here.
Oh, Tobias, all right.
Can you guys clearly hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so starting on the onboarding cycle, we've added 2 new members, Arabella and Victoria, and both will be on a trial period for 1 month, just for easy integration and to be engaged with simple tasks. And on the second note, we created a new onboarding template to give circles a clear starting point for welcoming new members. It's something that's flexible, and also circles can like tweak it to match their style. It also includes like links and extra stuff, so they'll be able to help work together needed, or in any way they can just easily onboard people. This goal would evenly make it smoother and to be more consistent, which will eventually make it and find its way to MKDoc, the entire resource. And for the third point, we also like started working with the IT circle, the IT team, to figure out a way on how we can automate parts of the onboarding process. There's a draft response to this work, but we'll be holding it off for a while. Then would, just for the sake of making it more solid and scalable, because we just want it to be in a compatible way and not getting it pulled in too many directions. And that will be it on the onboarding circle.
Okay, the fastest presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. We shall be banking our time with the onboarding circle. All right, Sonny, I see your answer. Please go ahead.
Okay. I just asking to the onboarding circle. I think before this one, right? Paulo also display or explain also recap with also onboarding circle in review circle. Whether in future also will this one integrate also this one part of the onboarding circle of the funding, or you'll be
No,
every circle we have different thing.
I think the document Paulo was talking about was for an onboarding process just into the review circle. We, the onboarding circle, would be onboarding people directly into Deepfunding.
So for the
You
every
understand?
circle, it will be different, right? They will maintaining different this one onboarding, right?
Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, Vani wants to say something. Vani, please go ahead.
I was just going to say that right from the start, we've noticed that, some circles are producing their own onboarding resources, which is fabulous, but maybe some haven't had time. And so we're just like with this document, it's a little bit of a template that people can use if they haven't had time to just start them off. So we will be sharing it like imminently, but yeah. Also, it could be useful for any new circles or work groups that crop up.
Thank you, Vani. Thank you. Any questions further for onboarding circle? And Anthony, are you back? I do not see Anthony.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back,
okay.
sir.
All right. All right. I think you are wrapping up your second point.
Yes. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I was trying to explain. Just basically an RPA, robotic process automation. So you go to Google Docs. So okay, to start from the beginning, there will be an equivalent page of the documentation website on Google Docs. So each page of your website will have an equivalent on Google Docs. So whenever you edit it on Google Docs, it will send a trigger system to a text to markdown converter, which will go through the regular Git CI/CD process. That's continuous integration and continuous deployment, GitHub Actions, and it will be deployed on the MKDocs website. So that way, it's the process of automating the best way we found to map data to the MKDocs website. So there's also a more explanatory document if anybody needs this. You can go over it. The title is Google Docs as an interface for MKDocs documentation update. Basically, that's just it. Okay, so then our third point is the new DF book pad and website. And we received feedback from Jan and Rafael about the first iteration being too vague and too bogus. So we've made changes to it. Now it is just exactly a replica of the existing DF book, basically the existing DF book. This is the exact replica of it. So that's where we are right now. Just to once again bring back to this our point 2. Yeah, the title is Mapping Data to Documentation Resource, Proofreading Content Review, a system for Circle members and resource managers to easily update their documentation. And like I described above, it starts from Google Docs and ends at the documentation website. In between, there will be maybe an AI automated process of converting the text on the Google Doc to the documentation resource. That way, it will be so easy. Once you update the Google Docs, you're updating your website directly. Then in between, we can make use of Google Docs permissions and whatever. And then we can even time the deployment. It doesn't have to be instantly as you're editing the Google Docs. We can time the deployment to maybe once a day or once a week, something like that. So that's where we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Sorry about your reception. Rafael Presa, I see your hands, please. Go for it.
No, yeah, I would like to, congratulate Anthony on these new steps and new features that him and the work group created or are ideating around. That's exactly what I saw or envisioned before for this work group that will become a circle, which is delivering, ideating, designing, and delivering tools for making the life of circles easier when they are updating their documentation. Because it's not scalable if we have to have a circle that goes there and input everything and write and go after the information and gather the information. It's not scalable. We would have to have a huge amount of people in this circle, and it wouldn't be that decentralized as well, right? But the way things are going now with this approach, I love this RPA, and I hope to see more to come to, again, facilitate the lives of such circles that are to come and that are there already.
Yeah, so I also have a question for the House. For this sort of initiative, do we then pass it on to the IT circle, or we should continue in-house? or we collaborate with the IT circle? How do you see us delivering this sort of system?
Well, for the sake of resilience, it's important for the IT circle to know and understand about it, but I don't see a problem as well if you are developing in-house, let's put this way, right? Like the same with the avatar, which is also a tool to facilitate the lives. As we mentioned, that it's important for them to also have sometimes even a saying on it, because it might impact a lot of things that they are developing. So the information, the documentation has to flow. But ultimately, I would say that the decision in between the both circles, hey, this now I can hand over to you, I think it makes more sense, or the opposite. So I wouldn't be too strong and say, yeah, it has to be with that circle.
Yeah, okay, noted.
Yeah, thank you, Rafael. Amazing work, Anthony. Very impressive. I just like the fact that you can, from Google Docs, make changes everywhere. That's just really, really cool. Thank you. So I'm thinking Oscar is wondering, why did I forget about data analytics, a whole data analytics circle? Well, where I come from in Africa, there's usually something called masquerades. And you can Google masquerades. It's just it's people's forefathers coming back to dance with them, something like that. But there's a saying that the biggest masquerade must dance last. So, Oscar, I hope you believe me, because I'm trying to make you feel good. It is in your best interest to believe me, because imagine you don't believe me, right? So you have to believe me. So thank you, Data Analytics. And for the test of what is to come, I would be sharing a calendar for DF to Shaku's strategy. Brilliant calendar. You will love it. And I also want to share a brief insight about Feds. We don't want members to have issues exchanging their Feds to either and then getting USDT and all of that. So, but just stay tuned, all right? And so let's call the big masquerade. Oscar, thank you, please. You have the floor.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, would you like me to present for you?
Yes, please.
All right.
Okay, so I'll share a brief update on what the Data Analytics Circle has accomplished in May of 2025. So firstly, we'll talk about the advanced data infrastructure and dashboard. So we launched a new interactive analytic dashboard that visualizes platform activity. And also we paired it with a video walkthrough to help stakeholders navigate the data easily. We also built a robust data pipeline for the Community Hub dashboard, which now pulls in insights from multiple sources. On top of that, we also developed a data board for the event circle using the LinkedIn data in late April. So these tools are already making our data more accessible and also helping circles make better informed decisions. Secondly, we'll be talking about the web and platform analytics. We also implemented detailed event tagging on both the main website and the community hub as well. We followed this with quality assurance testing to also ensure tracking accuracy. We used Google Analytics to also build advanced user segments. So for example, we compared the behavior of users involved in RFPs or RFP ideation with that of general visitors. We also studied differences between logged in and non-logged in users. A key part of this work was like a before and after analysis to see how behavior changes following the launch of the ideation feature. The third point we're looking at is the survey system and feedback loops. We as an analytics circle also designed a set of surveys aimed at capturing input from both circle members and broader community users. So far, we've rolled out the Open Project Change Management Survey. 2 more are ready to launch, which is the Circle Member Satisfactory Survey and also the website usability testing. So to make the survey distribution easier, we built automations into Mattermost, so that surveys can now be created and sent quickly using like simple slash commands. Fourthly, under the engagement and channel performance analysis, we completed a full audit of our YouTube channel, looking at how engagement has changed across all Deepfunding videos. We also scraped and analyzed Twitter activity from both the Deepfunding account and Project Catalyst ecosystem to assess post performance and content trends. Additionally, we conducted a full review of our email campaigns in Maltic, our marketing automation platform. So these insights are helping us improve how we communicate and connect with our community. Finally, in the area of research, compliance, and strategic insights, we looked into voting innovations like the pair voting, and we reviewed the Horizon 2025 report from Project Catalyst to extract some actionable strategies for Deepfunding. We also carried out a full review of the cookies and third-party tools on our website to support the general data protection regulation. We also completed an in-depth user behavior analysis using Google Analytics as requested by the marketing team. So this included a breakdown of user activity by a country, a look at the conversion funnels, and also an assessment of how effective the onboarding experience is for new users. So to wrap this up, I would say this month we focused more on making our data more visible and also building reliable systems for collecting feedback and also strengthening like our analytics tools to support smarter evidence-based decisions across the platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I see Ubio's hands. I have a feeling that Ubio has read my mind. Ubio, please be very, very careful. Make sure that you are not speaking my mind. Please go ahead, Ubio.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be similar. So yeah, I think the problem I'm having with this report is I'm here, it tells, it doesn't show, right? And that's like so when you tell me that you've actually done a lot, at least I'm just, even if you can't show us, and to be fair, this is actually analytics circle, so it wouldn't be wrong to see the analytics, right? Even if it's just screenshots of that analytics, it would have been very awesome. But let's assume that probably there are privacy issues and all of that that ensure that maybe there's a reason why we can't see those visualizations, at least a summary of it, so I can understand everything you've said to me, like you've said to us in this call, right, in that report. To be fair, I don't understand.
Yes, so you want me to present a visualization of all that we're talking about, right?
Maybe not all, but something that can make it easier to relate.
Yeah, Oscar.
Yeah.
Ubio, I want Ubio, and then he still went on and did it. So, but my angle is we have all hands in 2 weeks' time, right? It would be really nice if you could reach out to Event Circle. You have done a lot, and it would be amazing to just see all of these things that you have done. Your presentation felt like I went to a restaurant and then they came and told me one beautiful dish they prepared. And I thought they were bringing it. And then they came back and told me about another one they just prepared. And I thought they were bringing it. And then they read out like 5 wonderful dishes and they've never brought any one of them out. Imagine how hungry I am, right? So that's exactly what your presentation felt like. Now we're hungry. Now we need to eat this food. Otherwise, we are coming down on you. You know, but thank you. Amazing work from the data analytics circle. You see, I was not wrong to call you Big Masquerade, right? Sonny, I see your hands up. Please go ahead.
Okay, I question for Oscar. Oscar, whether you have any plan to, for after you complete all of the analysis of all the data survey and everything, as part including the marketing stuff and also in the the onboarding in the part of the data analytic, whether you will develop the dashboard as part of the decision for this mean ready for decision making, or only just for the display only for the the pattern or just behavior or something like that.
Come on, I didn't quite get that.
This one, right? Because now for data analytic, there is you just show the descriptive one, or we will go for the prescriptive one. It's mean only just showing, okay, now we have the visitor like this and the behavior is like this, or we will go through more than that. It's mean become, we'll give the advice to our marketing or whatever, or maybe to review circle, maybe, oh, you too much rejecting the the proposal without any proper justification, something like that. Or only just, okay, you have only just, this much is you reject, is this much is you accept, like that only. Just part of the descriptor only, just, the descriptive analytic only.
Yeah, Oscar, did you get the question?
No.
I think Sonny is saying that what you have done, is it mostly descriptive? Are you showing us what we cannot see, or are you also telling us what we can do or what it can be, or so is it just going to be descriptive, or is it also prescriptive?
Okay, so I mean, I'm showing you what is there, what can be done, and the past data too as well. So I'm telling the stories in like three folds: past, present, and also future, and also recommendations too as well.
Okay.
Sonny,
Thank
does
you.
that answer your question?
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
A
it's okay.
little.
There's we have this one, the picture at least. Thank you.
Okay.
I would
All right.
argue it's a journey, right? So we're still mapping things and visualizing things, and when we get comfortable in that and have more data to our available to us and present it in a good way, then we go to the next step and really give insights based on that data, and then based on those insights, we can give advice to circles and to the staff, etc. But yeah, I really hope and expect and trust that this is where the analytics circle will go.
All right. Thank you, Ian. And thank you to everybody. This is 5 minutes short of 2 hours, and we still have a whooping 47 people in the call. That's amazing. That's amazing. I feel so good about this. Thank you so much for staying till this time. We're almost done. I put a document in the chat. I don't want to have to present it because, we presented it and talked about it. And then we agreed that we are going to start to execute and then see how it goes. And this is one of the execution. This is DF to coordinator strategy meetings, the calendar. Also, this is also DF to all circles, that is everybody. Now, just for context and reminder, all ends is circles presenting to everybody, to DF, right? And now we are having a forum where the agenda is, the priority of the agenda is determined by DF. All right, so on the screen, you can see Mondays for event circle and operation circle, focus group for Tuesday weekly, because they are focus group, right? And then review circle. This is not to talk so much. This is just to show that now we will DF will have monthly calls with circle coordinators, and then there will be once in a month call with everybody with DF. And then of course you can see the usual all hands there in orange, and then you can see our usual town hall in blue. So of course this will be scheduled and to be on calendars, but it was just good to share this so that the community is aware that we have started to execute on this. The first set of meetings will go live next week, so arms akimbo or fingers crossed, depending on which one you like. So thank you. Any question or comments?
One thing that I may add here quickly, I am discussing with the operations circle the return of the awarded teams monthly meeting, where the teams can mingle and teams can bring their problems and issues. They can interact and create partnerships in amongst them. And we will probably use one of those 3 slots. It was purposely not there because we haven't defined it yet, the structure of it, but we are going to probably have another monthly call in there. And also, as you can see, 2 minutes to complete a 2 hours. So we also updated the report call and all hands to 2 hours from 1.5 hours.
I'm happy that Rafael said that I didn't have to be the one who said it. Thank you, Rafael, for saying it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Mayor, I think I saw you in there. Would you like to talk briefly, just advise? I think we have to have dedicated recordings and trainings for people with FED so that reduce incidences with FED, or I mean, how people can, exchange their token, but maybe some insights would help. Mayor, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, good day, everyone. I can't open my camera right now because I am not home, but yeah. I had series of complaints, not like series, but quite a few, with people having difficulty swapping their FETs to ADA or whatever token that they were going to swap to. So the thing is, most of these issues were from in-app swapping, especially if you use wallets like Yoroi. Just like there is mean swap, there are other decentralized DEXs out there, and not all of these decentralized DEX have enough liquidity for swaps. So with a new token like FETS, which is just recently being bridged to Cardano, not all DEXs have created a liquidity pool for FETS other swaps where people can provide liquidity and it's easy for you to just make swaps and goes to the other tokens. Yeah, so yeah, not all DEXs have provided or have created a liquidity pool for FETs yet. And for Yoroi, they have these DEX integrated. It's not main swap. It's called ViFi. And I checked out ViFi on its own, and I noticed that they've not set up that liquidity pool yet. So every swap that you will likely make via Yoroi in the app, like the Yoroi app itself, the swap button in Yoroi app itself will route via ViFi. And since there is no liquidity, you have there is every tendency that you get lost, like your money gets lost due to slippage and no liquidity and all this kind of stuff. So what you should do moving forward with FET payments now is have a wallet extension. Wallet extension allows you to connect to any swap or any DEX. And in this case, I advise MainSwap because they've set up a liquidity pool and they have good liquidity for FET other swaps. So you need to have a wallet extension. You can download Yoroi wallet extension on your laptop or a browser that supports a mobile browser that supports extensions and connect your Yoroi wallet to MainSwap. And it's quite simple. I have updated the documentation for this in the Git book. So you just need to follow the steps that I mentioned in the documentation, and you should get swaps to ADA or any other token of your choice. So yeah, it's something I just wanted to point out. Yoroi aside, other wallets that I haven't checked out, I don't know which DEX they got integrated with or they are integrated with. So I would not advise any in-app swapping at this point. Connect your wallet to MainSwap and make swaps if you want to. So that is the advice. And as for the video editing as for the video guide, I would have it done and Priscilla volunteered to make edits after it's been done. And so it should be out there any moment from now, probably this week.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Abdul also says Marketing Circle is working on a video tutorial for the swaps. So I think we should touch base so that we don't have repetition. Yeah, Abdul, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo. I just want to quickly come into the direction of in-app swap of the token, because I had similar experience before now, even with Aegis, considering liquidity provision for DEX 6. Now, it might not entirely means that you have lost your money. If you had this experience, probably you are unable to receive your EIDA because of liquidity issues. So if you have used the in-app swap, what you can do is that you have to understand which DEX that very app, the wallet integrated in their system. Then you now browse on the, whether you are using Chrome or whatever. Take for instance, probably let me use MainSwap as an example. You go to the MainSwap themselves, then you connect to that very MainSwap with your wallet. So on your transaction history, you will see that very transaction there. It will be pending. It will be on pending. So I'm saying it might possibly not necessarily be that you lose your money to slippage, but because of liquidity outage. So it does not mean that you lose your money or you have lost the money. So you can go from browser and browse the integrated DEX. Then you can find your transaction there. So all you need to do is just to click on cancel the transaction. Then you have your token revert back to your wallet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, I try to keep this within 2 hours, but I mean, you have to forgive me, right? So on this note, I would like to say thank you to everybody, coordinators who put together these reports, people who presented, everybody who joined, asked questions, participated, everyone who had their camera on, and everybody. Thank you so much for doing this. Please do not forget to reach out to Event Circle against the next town hall. We have amazing things planned, right? And we will see in the Mattermost channel. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Rafael. Thank you, everybody.
Ayo, should we give Esther, if she's still here, 1 minute to say something about decision making?
Oh, yes. 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 Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I'm so sorry. That slipped my mind. Esther, I apologize. Please go ahead.
No worries at all. Thank you. Yeah, this year I think we're promising to push really deeply into decentralization across the board, and I'm really excited to work on the decision-making initiative with you all. I think it's a really interesting challenge, and I think it's super exciting that Deepfunding is at a stage where this sort of intervention might be helpful, and you'll all be instrumental and really helpful, I hope, in making that happen. My plan over the next few months, so next few weeks actually rather, is to dive deep into kind of refreshing our knowledge base about decision-making tooling and processes that are out there. So we're building on what the ambassadors, I think, already did a while back, and I think partially Deepfunding as well did a while back on researching tools. But I think that since then there have probably been some developments happening in the field, and also looking out at other kinds of processes that might support decision making. So not just tooling, but also kind of the social processes behind decision making, because I think there's probably a lot of wisdom out there from teal organizations, from holacratic and sociocratic organizations that we can really learn from. Because I think we all realize from the start of the Lumio experiment that a tool doesn't necessarily make the decisions happen. We have to develop the stuff around the decision tooling to make it really successful. So in that vein, I'll also be reaching out to all of you to find out for me where the friction is in decision making, and what kinds of decisions you are doing day to day, what kind of decisions you would like to be involved in or not be involved in. Would you prefer to just get on with your work and not make any decisions, or would you prefer to be involved in every decision at the program level? You know, this kind of thing. I want to really listen to what you have to say to reduce the friction and to make the process not only successful but enjoyable as far as possible. You know, that we're all working together here, and I can see that so much is already really mature and successful here. So all I want to do really is to facilitate that. So I guess you can expect to hear from me pretty soon, either on the main channels or directly, or from Ayo as well, who's kindly agreed to help. And that's it, really. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Esther. Any final comments from anyone?
Oh, you know what? I have a call to action though. I have a spreadsheet that if you can add specific decisions that you can think of, and no matter how small or how large they are, I'll put them here in the chat and it's open to editing. You can kind of see where I'm going with it. It's going to be a kind of typology or taxonomy of decisions. So like typing them and creating like all of these small instances. And yeah, within your circle or at the program-wide level, anything that you can think of that you can put in this list, it doesn't matter where it goes, I will organize it later.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. I think it's just fair that it should be Esther's voice we hear last, but Jan's hands are up, so Jan, please go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. I'm proud on everybody here. It's such an amazing meeting and heard so many interesting things, and so many things are going on here. I really think we came a long way, and I'm proud of everybody here, but I'm especially proud, special shout out for Ayo for this wonderful, great presentation. You did a really great job, Ayo. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right. See you at the town hall next week. Bye.
Yeah, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you all.
Bye.